And welcome into the kitchen here at Peoria Notre Dame High School for a big night of girls basketball. It is certainly going to be a fun one here as the snow falls here in the city. It is cold outside. We're ready to get things heated up here between the Dunlap Eagles and the Peoria Notre Dame Irish. Jonathan Michael here alongside Ron Dwyer. JV game kicking us off here at 5:30, and Ron, looking forward to a great night of basketball.
Oh, I'm thrilled to be here. This is our second home game of the year, and the first one was Tuesday night, so it's great to be back that quickly into the gym. So I'm happy to see what happens. This should be a great night of basketball.
Really should. This is just kind of the appetizer. Still going to get some good JV action here today. And varsity coming up later, but Irish will start this game with the ball. They are 2-0 on the season and looking to make that 3-0. We'll get you the Irish's starters here. They're let out. Shea Larson's got the ball now, number 12, the sophomore three ball on the way. That was Izzy Corey, shot off the mark. Also for the Irish out there right now, it's number 3, Effie Williams, three ball on the way on the other end is no good. And save there in the corner by Larson. Now up top, there's Allie Kinning, part of the starting five. That one's off the mark and out of play. And the last starter for the Irish. And you got it, Williams, Shea Larson, Izzy Corey, Allie Kinning, and Ashlyn Allers out there. There we go. Finally got our 5 for the Irish.
Yeah, with all that action, sometimes it's hard to see those numbers, so we got them all.
It's been fast-paced action so far, and right on cue, Riley Hopwood, the freshman for Dunlap. Draining what is a deep 2. I originally marked it a 3 on my score sheet, but I gotta say her foot was on the line there, and she gets the scoring started. Good ball movement from the Irish so far, but better defense there. Esme Gibbons getting the steal there for the Eagles. She'll bring it up the floor, kick it out, and that's the 3 ball, and it's true. Anna Abendroth knocks it in. It's 5-0 Eagles.
This will be interesting tonight because I think Dunlap plays a similar style to the Irish, and they're going to throw up a lot of threes.
There's a 2 there for Effie Williams, but we have seen already some 3s shot there by the Irish, who now will bring that press. That was so deadly for their varsity team last year, clearly taught here at the younger levels as well. Pass nearly taken away, feed down low, off the mark there from Corey. Back up the floor, it's Gibbons, driving in with Larson defending. Trying to find someone, and it's taken away there by Allers. Fast break opportunity, she's got Corey out in front. This time she lays it home.
Boy, that's just a great job by Ashlyn there with the defensive turnover, great defense, and then she gives a great feed underneath for the assist. That was well done.
Way to keep her head up and notice that she had Corey streaking towards the hoop and was able to finish still in a crowded area. Turnaround there is off the mark. Here come the Irish with a chance to take the lead. 3-on-3 break. Corey dishes it off and laid it in there was Allers.
Just the positioning there, that was fun to watch. That's almost like the drill they do in practice where they had the fast break and everybody was in their lanes and she found the open assist there. That was awesome.
Reminds me of those 3-on-2, 2-on-1 drills.
Yep, absolutely.
From back in the day.
That's what it looked like. Yeah, all the way. Well done.
Girls coming into play there. Eagles now trying to get the lead back. Abendroth kicks it over back to Gibbons. Irish have brought out a 3-2 press here in the early going. Nice feed down low. And the finish not there from Leah Poshton. Poshton, Abendroth, Gibbons, Hopwood, part of the Dunlap starting five. That ball was kept alive Corey's shot is an air ball and taken back by the Eagles. Last starter for Dunlap is Allison Norris, number 30 in black. Mid-range is good there for Gibbons, and Dunlap will call timeout. Back and forth action here. That one was called a 3, and a nice shot there from Gibbons, the freshman.
Yeah, no fear. She just came right down the floor, and here's the replay of it right now. She just comes right down and stops and fires it up home. That was a good shot. A lot of courage there, a lot of aggressiveness. That was good.
You know, sometimes when you're a guard, sometimes coaches don't have to tell you to, don't shoot right away. But if you're that open, if you're confident enough in your shot, why not? If it's right there, and at that time it was there for Gibbons.
I have noticed just in the last few years how confident the girls are with shooting threes. They seem to really be confident with that shot in particular, and they can all, a lot of them can make it. So go ahead and take it, I guess, is the word of the day. Take that shot.
It's the Eagles 8-6 here about 4 minutes through the first quarter. And glad you're with us here on NDTV. Irish tie it back up. On a layup there from Izzy Corey, who's got 4. Now we see that press again. Kayla Montana went into the game for Dunlap. Three ball on the way is good for Abendroth. She's got 6.
I believe two threes for, once again, the three-point basket. Just no fear, just letting it fly. A lot of confidence in this Dunlap team.
We're going to get a foul in the backcourt. That one going on Larson. First foul of this game. Get another look here at that 3 ball again. Just open and drains it home. 2 threes for Dunlap here so far. Actually, 3 threes. 2 for Abendroth, 1 for Gibbons. They turn it over there on the travel. As Lucy Sletton, the sophomore, checks in now for the Eagles, replacing Hopwood.
Just a quick comment here as I look around. It's just really nice to see from an official standpoint. They've got a couple young guys out here, which is nice to see. I know that the IHSA has had trouble in the past finding some new officials to mix in, and it's good to see a couple young guys out here.
Most definitely. I was going to bring that up as well, as Larson knocks down a 3. We're all knotted up at 11, but I think, you hear those messages being played over the PA at the state series games, even just over social media, and I think young people are, starting to heed that call a little bit. As we get a foul down low, should send the Irish and Effie Williams to the line. But again, refereeing, you see a lot of guys sometimes are older, they're retiring, they just want to enjoy the game from a fan standpoint, and someone's got to replace them. Someone's got to be there to help keep these games going.
It's very important. It's a tough job, and I know the IHSA has really done a good job of trying to get a recruiting effort going. It looks like it's paying off. I like to see that because it keeps the game alive, and we need referees, officials to do these things, and it's good to see the young guys.
And we're going to travel here on the Eagles. They'll give it back to the Irish. .238 to go here in the first quarter. Again, Jonathan Michael here alongside with Ron Dwyer. It'll be a fun night of hoops, so stay warm and get ready. More 3 balls on the way for the Irish. That one is no good for Malus, but the offensive
really good
putback
hustle
is there.
Yeah, very good hustle there. That time, it's kind of teamwork there that got that rebound, and then just, again, the Irish hustle with the basket.
Another 3 ball on the way is good. That's 2 now for Esme Gibbons. That was nothing but twine.
Really kind of the same repeat of the earlier 3 she made. She just stopped at the top and popped it, let it go, and like you said, I don't even know, it barely touched the net. It went definitely through the rim. So she's got a lot of confidence you can really shoot it. So go ahead and keep shooting is what I'd tell her if I was her coach.
Feed down low, Corey stepping in and got fouled there by Norris. I'm sure what PND JV head coach Seth Mingus might be telling the Irish is going to look here. They're at that foul is, as soon as Dunlap crosses the half-court line or at least the volleyball line, you got to be in their face ready to guard because we've seen Gibbons and Abendroth have already made them pay.
That's absolutely true, and they're shooting it with really little regard to where they're at. Just as long as they've got a good look, they're going to let it fly. So, like you said, it's something that defense has to be ready right away.
Corey knocks down the first. It's been back and forth, lots of lead changes, lots of ties here in this first quarter. Corey sets the gym quiet, and silence is broken by the rim and the net. That one going in. It's 16-14. Eagles brought in more subs at the last timeout. Here's Paushton in the high post. Fall into the ground. Who's got it? We're going to get a jump ball. And the possession arrow favors Dunlap. They'll be slitting to inbound. Eagles set up their play. Driving to the right here is Hopwood. Guarded tightly there by Kinney. Now we see more of that high defense up top from Allers. Good ball movement. They feed the post. Almost an and one opportunity there for Paushton, but she'll head to the line. I think another big key tonight, besides shooting around, is going to be getting clean passes. Both these defenses have been very active. We've seen lots of passing lanes being taken away.
Yeah, the defense on both sides, you can tell the girls on both sides of the floor are very well coached, very disciplined, very similar styles, and like you said, the aggressiveness by both teams. It's going to be hard to get those entry passes.
Second free throw, bounces off, is no good, rebounded. There by Tabby Stickelmeyer, who's wearing number 30 tonight. A little bit of a number change for her. Sometimes she wears number 2, sometimes she also wears 24, but tonight she's wearing number 30 in white for the Irish. Under 1 minute to play here in the opening frame. Kick out, wide open shot there from Williams, swishes home.
Nice shot, very well done.
Williams has got 5, balanced scoring around both teams so far. Irish lead at 18-15, and Seth Mingus not quite ready for that pass. It goes out of bounds. That pass hit him squarely in the hands. And I'll go back to his Irish here. We'll see if they hold for the last shot. Larson thought about it. Kicks it back out. PND feeding the post, double team. Offensive board there. Larson on the weak side, lays it in. And the takeaway right there by Corey.
Really good hustle there on the inbounds.
Dunlap might get a 2 for 1, and Williams is fouled. So the Irish, we thought maybe they get 2, maybe 3 before the end of the quarter. They're going to have a chance to have 4, if not more, in the last seconds, as we see Williams there clearly getting hacked. First one's off the mark.
Well, I'm happy to be back after Tuesday night because I wanted to see if this style of play remained the same from one game to the next for the Irish on both. Honestly, the junior varsity and varsity, they're similar in how they play. So after watching that play, the hustle is still there. It just must be ingrained in the way they prepare for each game because they're still bringing the intensity and still bringing the hustle, and that's what won the game Tuesday for them.
Bank shot at the horn is nearly good. But Dunlap already knocked down a couple of threes. Esme Gibbons and Anna Abendroth. An onslaught from deep. PND, though, has responded. They lead 21-15. We're just through one quarter here in the kitchen.
Is it just me, Jonathan, or is that a lot of points for a JV team in the first quarter? I mean, if you multiply that out, I mean, we're on pace for a big night here.
We certainly are. It is going to be a fun night of basketball. Again, we got the varsity game coming up at 7. That should be a great one as well. And before that, I want to take a quick word for our sponsors tonight. I want to give a big shout out to Green Chevrolet and Liali Josting and family for helping sponsor tonight's broadcast here on NDTV. Glad to, just a personal note, myself speaking, is to be able to step in here and come in here and do a broadcast on NDTV. Again, some of you may know I'm on Clutch Sports Media quite a bit, but obviously good friends with the program here at Peoria Notre Dame. So I personally am very honored to be here on it's going to be a fun night of basketball. I told Mike Bear I was going to be here already because I was going to be here and cover these games. Might as well call him.
Absolutely. It's I know the weather's a little bit rough tonight, and it's hard to get out to a gym, and it's cold and snowy, but these two teams are worth coming out to see. I haven't seen Dunlap live yet, so I'm excited to see them. And I know the Irish, I watched them Tuesday. If you're a fan of the Irish, you got to come out and watch them live. They are incredible this year, and they're going to have a great year again. So,
and two teams that are garnering some state-ranked attention here as Irish turn it over there on a travel. PND number 4 in the state. In Class 2A, Dunlap received votes in the latest Class 3A poll that was released yesterday. Abendroth is in some trouble, double teamed in the backcourt, and Dunlap smartly calls timeout. Now is their head man Nick Romolo sensing his team was in some trouble, and I like that timeout there because the 10-second clock was just about up.
Yeah, that was a smart job. That's one thing I'm going to notice right away, too, when I look at the rosters here for the coaching staffs. Both coaching staffs have a lot of experience. They both run great discipline programs that don't make a lot of mistakes, and it's nice, when you watch your coach step up there and make a good decision like that in the moment. If you're a Bears fan, we know how that goes, right?
No kidding. Well, I unfortunately know that all too well. This season, but hey, later in the year, sometimes it's nice to have your Sundays a little bit more free, Well,
it's nice to make that comment because Coach Romolo did a great job there in the moment. He saw it quickly, and he called the timeout, which was the right thing to do to save his team's possession. And give credit where credit is due. That's a great job by a young coach.
I think that's one that if there was a post-game press conference, you can defend and not be criticized for it.
Yeah.
Just gonna leave that there. More press here for PND, and we're going to get
looks like a jump ball.
I think a jump ball, yes. And the arrow back with the Eagles.
Yep.
So that's beneficial for them. They don't need to worry about the press. They get it now into the attacking half. Here's Abendroth looking to feed it away. Or that was Gibbons, rather. Now it's back to Abendroth, back over to Gibbons. And in some traffic there was Montano. She's got it, guarded tightly, and PND is just all over these Eagles offensive players like a blanket.
Isn't that something? We just talked about coaching, and look at the adjustment. We had talked in the first quarter about the three-point shots by Dunlap and the need for the Irish to come out and defend, and sure enough, here in the second quarter, that seems to be the case as they just force a turnover there.
Tough to make threes when you can't get a shot off, and PND is doing its best to limit Dunlap from even shooting so far here in the second.
That's a fun part of high school sports, too, the chess game between the coaching staffs. That was definitely fun to watch that. Oops.
High arcing three that's a bit too high there from Effie Williams, who has a good laugh about it. And we'll get set up back here on defense. We'll see how the Eagles try and attack this. We saw a little bit of a 3-2 in the first half. That time, Williams takes it away. She's got a team-high 8.
Her smile is still on her face, and that hustle after that missed shot was really important. She didn't hang her head or give up after the missed shot. She came right back on defense.
Eagles able to break the press that time. Another jump ball, and this time it goes back to Dunlap. So arrow's already switched hands 3 times. So we get a look there. Williams has read it like a book. And you can tell that this PND press is instilled right from the get-go. 3-ball on the way is good from Abendroth.
Boy, they can really shoot the basketball. It's fun to watch.
She has got 9 lead all scorers so far. Howler's in the corner. Back out to her from the wing. Bank shot is open. Even past 5, the bank still open there for the Irish. And threes are falling in every which direction and in every which fashion too tonight.
They certainly are. I mean, I'm not sure she planned it that way, but it went in regardless, and she's happy about it.
PND's got to be happy with an 8-point lead. Again, they trailed by a couple buckets early on. They're going to ratchet up the defensive pressure. Montano finishes in traffic. Nice bucket there from the Eagles freshman. 26-20. Not even halfway through the second quarter. That pass taken away there by Abendroth. And she gets fouled. I was just about to say this has been a pretty clean game so far. Not a ton of fouls. And that's one of just a handful that have been called so far tonight.
You know, that's interesting. With as aggressive as both teams are on defense, they've been good about it. They've moved their feet rather than reaching, and so their defense has been intense on both sides, but no, like you said, not a lot of fouls. That time, I think that was a frustration foul.
Dunlap trying to start a run of some sorts. A nice cut there by Norris, and we will get our 4th tie-up of the second quarter. There's got to be some kind of record out there for that.
I think that's pretty interesting how many we've had so far just in this quarter, and we're not even halfway through the quarter. One thing I'd mention again is it looks like Dunlap has made another adjustment. Notice that we talked about them shooting a lot of threes, and then Notre Dame adjusts their defense, and now
a wedgie.
Yeah, there you go. That's fun. Dunlap has gone the last couple possessions to now they're looking inside and feeding the ball inside rather than looking for the outside shot. So the game continues back and forth of adjustments, so it's fun to watch.
And we're going to get another ball here to watch this saga unfold. One of our young men in stripes will try and free it. Oh, the first attempt is no good. You get a look here. All the 3 balls that have fallen tonight there. That bank shot there from Allers. And that feed there from Montano as they still try and get the ball unstuck.
It's still.
It is still stuck. We're on, I think, attempt number 4 or 5. There it goes.
There we go.
Give a hand to our referees. Other duties as assigned.
Absolutely. There you go. That's why they get paid the big bucks. You never know.
Eagles will inbound, and that ball was really wedged in there, up ahead to Montano. Open 3 ball, nearly blocked there by Larson, who came flying in. And she'll slow things down now. I think PND trying to go for a slower pace on offense, but a faster pace on defense.
Excellent hustle there.
To
get her own rebound there.
And the 3 ball is good from Tabby Stickelmeyer.
Nice shot. Yeah, good hustle on the rebound by Corey to get her own rebound. Nice. She kept her face up, found the open shooter.
We've seen lots of offensive rebounds from the Irish.
Nice job by both girls there.
Here in Stickelmeyer, the latest PND player to drain the 3. I'm going to go down my score sheet here and see who's all drained the 3. I think Stickelmeyer's got one. Williams has one. Allers, I know, has one. I believe Larson has. I think, and Corey has one as well. So all 5 of PND scorers have 3. Gibbons has got 2 for Dunlap. Abendroth has got 3. We have seen many, many triples so far. Gotta wonder if that's going to continue again in the varsity game to come later, which should be interesting again with Dunlap coming in. 3 very, very strong state-ranked freshmen on their team. And PND is going to have to, again, they'll be playing without Emmy Wardle tonight as well. So we'll see if Irish can continue it. They had a good, strong showing against Muhammad Seymour, though, again, back on Tuesday.
Yeah, I thought Muhammad, when we saw him, is a quality team. I think the difference, Notre Dame's experience, I think, and their pressure, their ball pressure kind of turned that game quickly. But, yeah, definitely Muhammad was a good team. Tonight will be very interesting to see this matchup. Both teams almost a mirror of each other as far as intensity and the way they're coached.
Most definitely. A lot of similarities between these as we get a official stoppage here.
Oh, I see.
I think there was 6 girls on the court for Dunlap as Hopwood had to come out.
I'm not sure. Can that? I think sometimes that can be a technical foul, I think, but I'd have to check on the rule on that, but either way, I like what the referee did there. He just stopped play immediately, and we made the adjustment. So, especially in a JV game, that's the way to handle it.
Exactly, and I'm not exactly sure if that was the case, but Hopwood did come out. The shot was off the mark, and they'll go back to Dunlap. And again, you like to see that called in a JV game.
Sure.
You know, sometimes you just get caught up. I would certainly make the same mistake if I were, a freshman or a sophomore, and didn't see have 5 other teammates on the floor.
I definitely like the way he handled it because it's a game. We're all here to play and get better. Nobody on this level is playing for any kind of trophy or state tournament, so it's good to teach the girls the right way and let them continue to play. He handled it perfectly. He blew his whistle early and made the adjustment.
Another jump ball. That's 5 in the second quarter. Gives it back to PND, who leads 29-20. Owlers with it here on the near side. That's been her spot so far tonight. Corey now in the high post, triple teamed, kicks it back out. Now back to Corey, had it stripped. Back out to Kidding on the drive. Nice hands there from Abendroth.
Dunlap really playing a smothering defense. It's well played that time.
Gibbons trying to find an open teammate. Has Paushton, now it goes back to her. Sets the screen, triple, almost bounced back in, is no good. And we're gonna get a foul on the Eagles as Paushton was battling with Kidding there for the board.
As that ball came off the rim, I almost thought we were gonna get another jump ball there.
Yeah. Well, it was in Paushton's hands for a second before Kidding got it right back. As now Dunlap will set up their press.
That's one of those good fouls too. If you're coaching for Dunlap, that's just good hustle, and you don't mind when you pick up that kind of a foul. That's a hustle foul, and it's good to if you don't have a few fouls during the game, you're not really playing the game. So
exactly. Eagles get it across this time, up here to Sletton. Traffic in the post, and Larson comes flying in for the board. And we get tie up number 6. Boy, but Larson, I believe, looks like the shortest player on the floor for PND, but she was no hesitation to come in and get that rebound. Montano kicks it out. Paushton, a floater, and she will head to the line as Corey gets called for the foul.
Really good, strong move that time. She didn't hesitate, and she used her body position to get that open shot and draw the foul.
So that sends Leah Paushton to the line. That's her second trip here tonight. She went 1 for 2 the first time, and is open for a 1 for 2 trip this time as well. Dunlap keeping the bodies fresh. They have been substituting quite a lot tonight. I think almost every player on the roster has seen the floor. Playing with, I think, just 7 players tonight as Paushton's second is no good. Larson with the ball, spins, kicks out. Cross-court pass delivered over to Kidding. Dunlap got a hand on it. Now Williams going to work at the post. Better defense there from Dunlap. I think Williams wanted to get a foul. I'm not sure who that was down low for Dunlap, but that was great post D. That was Montano with the stuff.
Yeah, really good job with her body position there, and did get the ball. It was a clean block.
A nice poke out there from Gibbons. All ball there on Larson, and that'll keep it in the corner with the Irish. Sicklemeyer hands it back off to Williams. One of 8 sophomores on this PND junior varsity roster. Larson thought about a sidestep 3. And another takeaway for the Eagles.
Really impressed with Dunlap's defense this last couple of minutes here. They've really turned up the pressure.
Larson flies in, no good. And we'll go back to Dunlap. So we haven't seen a bucket in quite some time. Longest stretch of the night without a score for either side. Montano feeds Norris. Nice pass down low. And the finish is not there, but the foul is. And Paushton will head for redemption up at the stripe. 1 for 4 at the line tonight for the freshman. Try and sink some here and try and cut into this PND lead. Again, in case you're just tuning in, Dunlap by small margins back in the first quarter, but PND caught up as Washington struggles at the line continue. Rebounded by Williams. Kicks it back out. Larson open triple is good.
Wow. That was a really nice job that time by Effie Williams to use her body as a screen as she pivoted and then found the open shot there with the assist and a beautiful three-pointer.
Shot on the way, it bounces off the rim for the Eagles. Now it's Stickelmeyer the other direction. Williams has been aggressive on the drive, and she gets fouled there by Poston. It looks like she maybe might have slipped driving in, but it'll be an Eagles foul.
Yeah, I couldn't tell. Like you said, it almost looked like she tripped a little bit, but there was some body contact there, so I can see why they called a foul.
Larson on the other side for 3, no dice.
Good position on the rebound there by Dunlap.
Eagles trying to get a bucket or 2 before the halftime break and try and get some momentum. Poston's shot too strong. Follows her own miss, but Kidding corralled it. And it will stay with Dunlap. 57.8 to go here before the half.
Boy, that Poston girl, I'm interested to, if I'm able to, follow her career as she grows. She's only a freshman and very aggressive with the basketball, looks to score. We've seen her miss a few free throws, but as she gets older and more confident, she'll make those, and her future is bright with the way she attacks the basket.
Most definitely. Once the ball is in her hands, you can just kind of tell that she has, one goal in mind. That's score. That's by any means necessary. She's done a good job being aggressive tonight. Triple team in the post. Dunlap able to get it out to Gibbons. She's had 2 threes today. Here's Norris backing down. We will get another tie-up. I think that's 6 or 7.
That's
1 per minute.
Yeah, I think you're right. Just really good hustle by both teams. When you get that many tie-ups and jump balls, that means both teams are hustling and playing defense and tying the ball up. So, and that's the kind of game we're watching. Both teams scrapping back and forth.
I think both teams know, again, even though this is, junior varsity game, I think both teams know how much this game means to each other. Dunlap knows that, hey, PD's got a good varsity squad, and Dunlap, and vice versa. So
I think sometimes, too, with the locations, just where the two schools are in relation to each other, you get a lot of friends probably that know each other, and you end up playing against not necessarily neighbors, but definitely girls you've known or grown up with playing, and that's partly that causes the big rivalry and the intensity here.
Most definitely. 3 ball on the way, too strong. Rebound, loose ball, goes back to PND. 12.1 to go. See how the Irish approach this. Seth Mingus calls out the play as Larson brings it up. 3 low, and now Allers comes up top, now with 5. Larson gonna dial up a deep triple, is just short. That looks good off of her hand, and it's PND 32, Dunlap 20 here at the halftime break. And boy, how about that Irish defense limiting the Eagles offense the last about 4+ minutes in that second frame.
That's funny you mentioned. I was just thinking the same thing. We were talking a little bit about the Dunlap defense and how they had really clamped down, but then I looked up at the clock and saw that Dunlap still had only 20 points, and I was thinking, well, it had to be 3 or 4 minutes. And there you go. We're both thinking the same thing. So not talking so much about the Irish, but, man, their defense, again, it's tough when it needs to be.
Most definitely. Boy, we are having some fun here in the kitchen tonight. What a game just to start things off on what's going to be a busy night of basketball. You see the varsity teams for the Eagles and Irish taking the floor, getting some warm-up shots in. And they're coming up right after this. Halftime stat rundown for PND. Tabby Stickelmeyer's got 3 for the Irish. Effie Williams tied with Shay Larson for the team lead with 8. Ashlyn Allers has 7. And Izzy Corey 6 in the scoring column for the Irish. For Dunlap, they're led by Anna Abendross, 9 points. All of those coming on three-pointers. Same goes for Esme Gibbons, who has 6. Riley Hopwood has 3. Michaela Montano has 2. Leah Poshton with 1 here at the halftime break. Glad you're with us here again on NDTV. It's a cold night outside here in Peoria, but wherever you tune in, whether you're maybe just down the street from Peoria, Notre Dame, maybe you're tuning in from across the country, glad you're with us here for a good night of hoops. Jonathan Michael and Ron Dwyer here having some fun. Well, let's head to a quick break here at halftime and come back with the second quarter, the second half, I should say, as we take a look at some of the highlights here of the first half. Right back in a few minutes. And welcome back to Peoria Notre Dame. Grab your popcorn. It's time for the second half. We certainly did during the halftime break as Dunlap starting things off with, what do you know, another three-pointer. That one, though, was no good. And the Irish will try to extend their 32-20 lead here at halftime of tonight's junior varsity contest. As we had a foul there on Anna Abendroth. PND again, very strong end to the second quarter, especially on the defensive end. And that's led to some good buckets on the other end. That pass was a bit airmailed, though, from Izzy Corey. Will give Dunlap a chance to cut back into the deficit. It's Gibbons bringing the ball up for Dunlap, one of many talented guards that have come through this, or will be coming through this Dunlap program. Feeding the post, a bit too hot there for Norris. Irish bring it the other direction. Dunlap in what looks to be 2-3 zone defense, swings it around. Larson thought about that deep three. She shot that deep one to end the first half. And over in the corner to Allie Kinning, who we learned at halftime is a former hockey player. And she takes a charge there. And it will go back to Dunlap.
Yeah, I guess it was just a straight turnover. No foul. Yeah, Kinney wasn't fazed by that. Like you said, we learned that she was a hockey player before she moved to Peoria. So I'm sure she's used to that kind of contact and probably even worse.
Abendroth drains another triple. She's got 12 for Dunlap. More than half of the team's scoring. Here's Corey now on the wing. Spinning around, nice footwork, running into a wall, and still knocks it in.
That's really a great job sticking with it there when she thought she had the shot she wanted and she found a way to pivot into it and get herself open.
A loose ball there in the corner. It's going to stay with the Eagles as Montano comes back in for Pashton. I think if you're the Eagles, by the end of the third quarter, you want to set a tangible goal. I think key for them is they want to get it probably down to single digits by the end of the third. I think that's usually a lot of goals for a lot of teams. They're down 10, down 15 or so in the third quarter.
Honestly, they're really going to have to work hard to, number one, break the pressure of Notre Dame as you watch them play their defense. And two, hold Notre Dame down. It's going to be a long, and what'll happen is you'll watch it happen. The quarter will just kind of waste away.
Nice shot there for Abendroth. Our first two of the ball game, and just like that, right on cue, it's below 10, and here goes Montana with a takeaway.
Good hustle.
But Ashton Allers takes it right back. Finds a wide open Kinning, who stops, pops, and one. As the referee helps Abendroth back up, and again, we mentioned Allie Kinney, not fazed by contact, finishes through it.
You know, that's the toughness there is what you like as a coach too, and that's, you notice she's right out there with the starting five in the second half. And listening to her background from her parents there, I'm really proud of her, the way she plays the game. Sounds like she doesn't have a ton of experience in basketball, but yet she's really a contributor here. So congratulations to her. Just a sign of a good athlete making an adjustment to a different sport, that's all.
Yeah, it sounded like she, before the season when decided, well, I don't want to play hockey. I have to drive down to Bloomington, play club. That's a lot of driving back and forth. She said, oh, I'll play basketball. And it's worked out for her so far as she and the Irish lead 37-25 here in the kitchen. Dunlap called that timeout, and head coach Nick Romolo.
Just like you said earlier, I was going to interject there that Dunlap's got to try to get this down to a single-digit lead to go into that fourth quarter to have a chance, I believe, to win it. And it looks like they were on a good stretch there when they forced the turnover, but then good hustle by the Irish. They get it right back, and not only the bucket, but a three-point play. That's devastating to a team that's trying to make a comeback.
Most definitely. That's it. Types of plays you love if you're the team in front and you just can't afford to have if you're the team trying to cut into that deficit like Dunlap is. Abendroth drives on the baseline, finding her teammate down low, and that one is good from Allison Norris, her first score of the game. Dunlap takes it away on the press. Gibbons' three, no good. Norris tries to save it, but into the hands of Kinnian, who I think her foot was on the line as well, and it will give it back to the Eagles.
That's what I can assume. It was the baseline referee that called that from the backside, so he must have seen her foot step out.
Kind of a big story of who wants the basketball here in this third quarter. Everybody does, and right on cue, Evie Williams, a takeaway for PND. And I think it's something that these players will learn, especially as Corey there turns it over, especially as they grow, is there's certainly many positives to playing fast. We saw it in the first half, but there's also many positives to knowing when to slow the tempo, slow things down. If you're PND right there, you kind of want to slow the tempo. There's no shot clock, and realize that hey, we don't have to be in a rush at all.
The clock is their friend right now, as they say. But I, after watching them Tuesday, I don't think Notre Dame has any other way to play other than full speed ahead.
That's true.
Honestly, and I don't mean that in a negative way, as if they don't know how to slow it down. It's just they're taught to push and press, and then on offense, same thing, push and score. So it'll be interesting. Like you said, with the lead, they should slow it down, but I don't think we'll see that.
I don't think we'll see that either, as Gibbons up court, and I think that was Hopwood who thought a little bit too fast there and took 2 steps before dribbling. And we'll turn it back over.
I don't know, is it fair to say that Hopwood made a hop there? And that's, I mean, a little tongue-in-cheek joke there, but that's what happened. Almost thought we had another one there.
PND breaks the press, dribbling in, and Sticklemeyer sticks it in for 2. An Irish lead back up to a dozen. Dunlap looking to get some quality looks. 3 balls have been there most of the night, but down low, Irish have just caved it any time that the ball has gotten fed to the post. Norris got fouled there as Corey gave her a slight shove. A substitution for Dunlap. That's Sletton coming in for Hopwood.
I don't know what Izzy Corey's background is. I'm not sure it's hockey, but I can tell she doesn't fear contact either. She plays with an aggressive toughness, and right there again, we're watching her on the post guard. She's not afraid of contact or getting her nose in there. So
a little check into the boards there on that last play.
And that's something you can't really coach. You either come in with toughness into the program or you don't. So she is a tough character and born that way.
Williams will set it back up top. Now Larson dribbling in with the left hand off the side of the backboard. Active hands though, and she takes away. Way to not give up on that play. Kick out. Williams penetrates and is fouled. And see the motive for PND now, almost every possession seems to be just get it to the hoop.
Yeah, we mentioned this earlier that you have seen people pull it out and go slow here and use the clock as their friend, but ND's been taught to be aggressive and to take the ball to the hoop and look for the open basket, so they're going to continue with that, I believe. And it's working, right? It's gaining them a lead here rather than turning the ball over.
Most definitely, it's getting them to the line as well, where Williams's free throw was so pure we could hear the swish through our headsets. That second one hits the rim, but it counts just the same. Williams is up to double figures, first PND player to do so tonight.
Somebody coined that phrase years ago, free throw, so they assumed that was a free point. It's glad, I'm glad to see a athlete take advantage of the free basket and make both free throws.
Phenomenal pass down low by Montano through the legs to Norris, who didn't finish on either of her attempts, but got hacked. Has got a look there. I know Montano was trying to feed it in between the legs. I think that's just the way it worked out. And Norris will get a chance to counter 2 free throws with 2 of her own. First one, a little bit off the mark. Eagles have left a couple of points at the line tonight. And the forward will set for her second. That one is good.
Good job. Good recovery.
Only takes the sour taste out of your mouth, making it second.
Yes, it does.
I would much rather make my second, miss my first, rather than vice versa. Corey, a tough jumper, nearly fell. As Montano gets back over to Gibbons. Dunlap looking to push the pace a little bit again. And see if they can try and cut it into this lead to get it to single digits before the end of the third. A lot of screen set up top. Larson takes a tumble. Someone's open. In the corner, that was Sletton, and her shot was too strong. Larson
good
wide
feed.
open and fast break.
Oh, too bad she missed it. It was a good feed that time by Stickelmeyer.
That was a great pass up court, but Larson just couldn't get the right English on that one. Norris feeling contact. What an and one that could have been, but she'll head back to the line for 2 after just shooting. I'm sure that muscle memory is probably still there for Norris. I like that aggressive play. As we got a pair of subs checking in for PND here after this free throw. First one is good from Norris. She's got 4 tonight. As Kinney and Allers come back in for the Irish.
Norris did a really nice job there of staying tough and finishing the play to earn her the trip to the line.
And right now, I think, for Dunlap, free throws are your best friend as she goes 1 for 2 that time. You get points, the clock is stopped, and you get closer. I'm not sure if there'll be much time left to try and get in the bonus here, at least in the third quarter, but I think, especially with an aggressive defense like PND's, it might be their best opportunity to try and score some points here late in this one. Kick out 3 ball is good. Ashlyn Allers has got 10.
That was a really nice job of being patient and looking for the open shot, and they got the open 3 and made it.
Montano dribbling in. Allers trying to take it away. And Kidding does. Under 40 seconds to play. See how aggressive PND is here to end this one. Tight defense there from Abendroth. Larson straight away triple. Can't quite get the shooter's roll, but boy, it was close. Dunlap up ahead to Montano. Sletton driving left, approaching 10 seconds. Trying to go down low to Norris, kick back out, inside out game. Nearly results in a 3. That 3 has fallen multiple times for Gibbons, so we get a jump ball that will favor PND. You will have time for a half-court chuck. And they won't get one. But a 15-point lead for the Irish. They extend it 32-20 at halftime, and they outscore Dunlap 12-9 in the third quarter. So just a few minutes left between Irish and a 3-0 start to the season for their JV team. Want to take a quick reminder that tonight's broadcast is brought to you, I've been seeing there on your bottom quarter of your screen there all night, by Green Chevrolet and the Leali Joesting family. I want to thank them for their support of NDTV. And throughout the rest of the season, they're going to look at that triple in the corner from Allers. And that was a strong possession because we mentioned earlier comparing the fast pace versus slowing it down. And that time, it was a relatively slower possession, a patient possession, and it still ended with a 3 ball. So that proves that you don't have to just go down and shoot up a 3 right away.
Yeah, I think, again, when we say a slower pace there, compared to Notre Dame earlier, who would come down a little bit out of control and maybe fire up a three from the top of the key or somewhere pretty distant, that was patience and feeding it inside and then back out to an open person who had their feet set and took a good three. That was a good look and a good basket, yes.
Dunlap will start the fourth quarter with the basketball. And
clock. We have a clock
now
issue.
to reset the clock, it was set at 1 minute. That would have been a pretty quick fourth quarter.
I think that was left over. It was supposed to be the period or the time between the periods, a minute, and I bet they didn't start it. And anyway, now we're back to where we belong.
Now we're back to where we are supposed to be. 7:58 left for Dunlap to try and complete the comeback here on the road against a very strong Irish team. I'll get things reset here, but for Dunlap, again, you're down 15. You like to get some easy looks, easier said than done against PND, but I think to cut this lead, they're gonna have to do what they did earlier, and that's start draining some threes.
Yeah, I think we'll see more three-point attempts in this quarter by Dunlap if they want to get back into it.
See a little bit more urgency now here for the Eagles. Three ball was short by Abendroth. She's knocked down 4 of them tonight. Larson speeds up court, and a travel there by Williams. So a PND mistake. Now can Dunlap capitalize? A couple times tonight, PND's turned it over, only for Dunlap to turn it right back over again. So we'll see if they can avoid that.
I'm glad you said that. That's kind of been the theme of Dunlap's comeback, is they just have turned the ball right back over.
We'll get a foul there as Montano got held there by Kidding.
And again, that was smart by Montano to take it right to the hoop. They've got to score here to get back into this. So either take it right to the hoop or go ahead and get a quick three.
Gotta value every possession here, as Pauschen tried hard to keep that ball in bounds and did, but fortunately for her, right back to the Irish. Allers lost control of the ball but regained it. Now Larson will settle things down a bit. Nice feed down low to Allers, whose defender fell. Williams, out of control shot, and give it back to Dunlap.
Yeah, I'm surprised to see that, actually, that out of control shot with the lead that they have. Hopefully they'll learn here or be told to kind of slow it down and look for a better shot with the lead that they have and the fact that the quarter, we're at the end of the game here.
And everyone in the fourth quarter wants to be, the hero. They want to knock down that big shot.
Wow.
Speaking of big shots, Esme Gibbons. A needed triple for Dunlap to cut this down to 12.
What do you have does she have 12 points? Is that?
I got Gibbons with 9, Abendroth with 12.
So Gibbons on all threes there.
But Gibbons, yes, all of them on threes.
Oh my.
Williams tries to counter, it nearly went down. Dunlap a chance to get this down back to single digits.
Good hustle. Oh, right back to Dunlap there. Good hustle.
Good hands though there by Sticklemeyer and Larson. It's been everywhere on defense tonight. Drives in on the fast break, a bit too strong. Back and forth we go. It's like watching a tennis match on a basketball court. Montano kicks it over. Open three ball is good
there
from Hopwood.
That's the kind of action that can get Dunlap right back into the game right there. 2 quick buckets.
So 2 stops and 2 threes have cut it from 15 down to 9. If you can repeat that sequence, all of a sudden you got a 3-point game. All starts on the defensive end for the Eagles. Ball is on the deck. Gives back over to Sticklemeyer. This JV game has just about had it all here in the kitchen. Tight defense there from Abendroth. Larson's triple just bounces out. PND not getting the rolls on those 3-pointers that they wanted.
Just a little short. I think that was the shot they wanted. She was open, even though it was a 3. She had an open look.
3 ball on the way. Ooh. Rims out,
Good
but
hustle.
Montano is there.
Good
and
rebound.
we'll get a jump ball favoring PND, but But Montano's been aggressive today.
Yeah, I mean, look, she's not the biggest girl in there inside, and she got the rebound. Somehow she found a way in there, and that's just great hustle on her part.
Nice assist there on that last triple to Riley Hopwood. Norris will come back in the game for Pawston.
And even though that they don't get the possession on that hustle play by Montano, it's going to create a chance for them to have the ball next time. So that could come into play. Whoa, almost over and back there, but not.
And that time a travel, or a double dribble rather, from Larson. Took a little hop before that shot. But you bring up a good point, Ron. You know, every time in the fourth quarter you get a jump ball, it's usually a good thing because either you're getting the ball or you can say, hey, next time there is a jump ball, that time we're getting it.
Well, and the way this game's kind of winding down, every possession's going to really matter here. If Dunlap can find another quick I was going to say another quick basket or a chance to go shoot some free throws, they're going to get back in this game. We're not shooting free throws yet, but it's going to, like we said with the jump ball, it's going to lead to a chance later here. There's plenty of time left.
Most definitely. PND.
There's that quick
Not
three.
completely safe yet. That three ball looked good.
Boy, if that
Rebounded
goes
by
in,
Williams.
if that ball goes in, it's going to be a nail biter. Nice pass.
Nice cut, too, from Allers, whose shot is no good. PND has gone cold from the floor as Abendroth pushes it up the court. Feeds it over Montano. It was at a deep two, it might have been, but it's no good. Now Corey being told to take it all the way, and she got fouled.
But that was pretty athletic that time by Corey. She was able to dribble in, and then at the last second there, she switched to her left hand, and here's the replay. Watch her switch to the left hand, and that's what got her the foul, that she was able to get the ball away from the defender there.
Yeah, I didn't even notice that little Euro step there in real time from Corey, whose first free throw just bounces off. Boy, it's been a unkind rim over there in the fourth quarter for PND.
It's definitely cold outside. I wonder if some of the cold has crept through the doorway here and put a lid on this basket.
No kidding. This game started off again with lots and lots of scoring. I think it was, 21 to 16, something like that at the end of the first quarter, but the scoring has slowed down. Defense has intensified. This one's gone along. Abendroth's shot is too long after the jump stop. Nice feed up to Corey. Doesn't lay it in, but gets her own miss. Larson, tough shot, and she drained it.
That was tough. Yeah, I agree. Shay Larson's not the biggest girl on the floor, and she had a tree trunk right in front of her there to get over, and she did it somehow and got it to fall.
So that makes it now 3 players in double figures at 10 points exactly for PND, and that was one of the tougher shots of the game that Larson's had to make, and you can just kind of tell that Larson, who's a sophomore right now, listed on the varsity roster and was for parts of last year, is going to be a main contributor, I think, on this PND varsity team in a few years.
She does a really nice job of handling the tempo and the pace at point guard. Most of the time, she does a really nice job of finding the open person and also slowing things down when they need to be slowed down or speeding things up when they have to be sped up. But that time, again, she's listed at 5'3" on the roster, and the girl she took it up against that time for Dunlap was Norris, Allison Norris, who's listed at 5'9", and I think she's bigger. I think she's 5'10". So that's a 7-inch difference, and she made the shot somehow over. So it shows her athletic ability to be able to get that shot off over the top.
14 motion.
And most definitely is PND again trying to hold an 11-point lead. It's been a frenetic fourth quarter, to put it lightly, as Dunlap tries to cut in this lead. And look at Larson all over Gibbons on defense. Abendroth feeds it to Norris. There comes a double team, but the kick out to Gibbons, rims out.
She's a good shooter and just missed. Boy, that was a good shot.
If you're a PND, you can't afford to give her that shot again, because I think the next time she would shoot that, she would drain it. That ball touched about every possible inch it could have of the rim.
It just didn't fall, but a good look, and Dunlap needs a couple more of those to get back into it.
That they certainly do, trailing by 11. Doesn't always need threes, but they would certainly help. Nice read there by Norris to take things away, but Gibbons lost the handle on it. Definitely tell that this PND defense is just forcing Dunlap to play at a certain tempo. A bit too fast on offense.
They just seem to have one motor, and that's on offense and defense. It's full speed, and I don't mind that so much. Although the offensive side, hopefully they can learn as the year goes on to when they need to slow it. But boy, I like their motor.
Norris's shot banked off the backboard and into the hands of Williams.
That's another thing you can't coach. You can't coach that kind of aggressive motor, but you can slow it down. And I think again, as the year goes on, they'll learn that.
Kick out over to Williams. Now PND content to slow things down a little bit.
There's an open shot.
There's Larson with a 3.
Good screen that time.
And you know, Larson, I mean, again, say what you want about shooting up 11 with 2 minutes left. That's a confident shot.
These are the shots they take, yeah. So, I think a lot of people out there watching might be pulling their hair out saying, why are we shooting a 3 with the time that's left? But that's Notre Dame's game. And they did get the open look. They got the nice screen, and that's their shot, so go ahead and take it. I'm all for it.
And especially the way that they've been playing defense, too. And maybe seems a little bit less risk-free because they've been forcing lots of turnovers on defense. But that time, Sickelmeyer commits a foul in the corner. And I think we're at a point now where Dunlap probably needs to score on about every possession here for the rest of the game.
Yeah, Notre Dame has still done a very nice job, even though they've had a few mistakes and they've turned the ball over a couple times and missed some shots. They play that aggressive, hustling defense. They're scrappy. They get all the loose balls, all the rebounds. And once again, another turnover and a good example of what I'm talking about with that Notre Dame defense. That's what wins their games is their defense, actually.
Effie Williams comes with a steal and the Irish called timeout. So both teams will talk things over here with 1:37 to play. Again, reminder to stay tuned for the varsity game scheduled for a 7 p.m. tip-off here at the Kitchen. Number 4 state-ranked Irish in Class 2A. Not sure what number Dunlap is, but they're receiving votes in the Class 3A poll. So 2 of the area's best in the Mid-Illini and the Big 12 respectively. And, you know, Ron, again, I know you being the former athletic director at Richwoods, having lots of ties here. For me personally, it's always really, really fun when teams from the Mid-Illini play teams from the Big 12. It is always just such a good time. It's
a great matchup always. And basketball, it seems, doesn't really have a conference around the central part of Illinois. All of the basketball around this area is quality, as we've seen in the past with men's and women's. Metamora, Washington, you know, Notre Dame, Manual, Richwoods. I mean, you could name a school, and good basketball is being played in this area all the time. So it's fun to watch. Yeah, it's always nice to see conferences match up.
And you gotta think about, hey, in the era of, especially in college level, you got all these mega conferences with 18 and 20. How fun would the Mid-Illini Big 12? I mean,
I will chime right in
logistically,
and would love to see at least the Peoria schools join at some point with the Mid-Illini. I know that's a lot to ask, but boy, would that be fun in all sports to see that happen someday. Hopefully someday they can make it happen.
That would be a lot of fun as well. Also, reduce, especially, I'm sure from the East perspective, having to book those long road trips down to Danville or Urbana or Champaign.
Listen, it's tough
to avoid those.
Yeah, it's tougher to find bus drivers anymore. It's dangerous sometimes to send kids that far away. No offense, because the Big 12, when I was part of it, is a great conference with great administrators and athletes and coaches. But I'm from the old days where we played sports against all the teams around, East Peoria, Limestone, Pekin, Morton, Metamora, Canton, the list goes on. I just would love, if there's a way to see that happen, I'd love to see it. And I think the community would too. It'd really bring out the crowds, I think, to see those old rivalries come back in all sports, really.
Definitely fun to think about for sure. One thing I do know is we're under a minute to play here. PND looking like, despite a miracle, we're going to hold on and move to 3-0. But one thing I do know is that in mid-January, I believe at Pekin, there will be a girls basketball, Mid-Illini, and Big 12 shootout.
Oh, I love that idea.
At Pekin. So that
Great idea.
That is going to be lots of fun. And to my knowledge, take this with a grain of salt, but I think it might be the first time that at least that shootout, at least in recent years, has happened. So definitely looking forward to that. And
well, hats off to whoever came up with that idea. That's a honestly great idea. Somebody at Pekin came up with that, and they're going to have a great, draw there. They'll have big crowds. Good for them, and good for the area.
Most definitely, as PND, let's try and work the ball around here in the final 30 seconds or so. Curry driving in, and she'll have a chance to add to her total. There's 3 Irish players with 10 points right now. That's Williams, Allers, and Larson. Corey could join them if she makes 2 here at the stripe. Well-balanced scoring effort from both teams tonight, as Anna Abendroth from Dunlap leads all scorers with 14. And broadcaster's jinx, apologize there to Izzy Corey. Didn't make the first, but.
Well, let's see. You said making the second one's better. Oh, she couldn't get it. It like you said earlier, it hit all parts of the rim, but just didn't want to go in. I'll blame that again on the weather.
Yeah.
It's too cold outside.
Nice floater there from Hopwood. And she's got a couple for Dunlap tonight. Larson gets it across the timeline, loses it. Dunlap a chance for a late bucket here. And driving in there was Abendroth, shot no good. That'll do it. PND hangs on to win 46-37 in a game that started very offensively focused, ended very defensively focused, and ultimately a really strong showing from both teams. I was really impressed with both Dunlap and PND. I think both these teams, are going to pick up a lot more wins as the season goes along.
Yeah, it's fun to watch the effort of these young athletes. I mean, they both teams gave so much to the game. They left it all out there. And it's just, again, if you're not watching sports, you ought to watch more high school sports, because there's just a lot of fun there to watch kids give it their best and to compete. And this is what drives them, during their school day. They look forward to these evenings, and man, what a nice experience that was for me to watch that game. Really looking forward to this next game. It's going to be a doozy.
Most definitely. Varsity warming up now between the Eagles and Irish. You will not want to miss it from the kitchen here on NDTV. Again, quick shout out. I want to thank Green Chevrolet and Leali, Josie, and family for sponsoring tonight's broadcast coverage here on YouTube. Again, Jonathan Michael here alongside Ron Dwyer and Michaels, if you're a native of the Quad Cities.
Love it.
As Ron pointed out to me earlier. Just kind of noticed that famous radio show up there. We're having lots of fun here in the booth at PND tonight. 46-37 your final from the JV game. We'll step aside for a few minutes and come back for varsity action in short order. You're watching NDTV